What up, y'all? How y'all doing? So, today's Saturday. For some of you, it may be Sunday. For some of you, it may even be Friday. Yeah, maybe Friday. Because sometimes, depending on what time zone you're in, you're a day ahead, you're a day behind, a few hours behind, whatever have you. So, in any event, I just want to say, hey, hope your day is going good. And even if it's not, and I'm not I'm not trying to take our stuff, but I'm telling you, like, even if it's not, I hope that you find something in it that's good. You woke up. I know that's kind of corny and cliche, but like seriously, you're able to do the thing that you love or you're aspiring to love and you're aspiring to do, which is trading, another day. You know what I mean? Whether you blew an account or you made it past the first phase or the second phase, because I know some of these have even 4 phases now, just tricky things. Or you got a live account or whatever it is that you may be aspiring to achieve this year in trading. I'm really hoping and praying seriously that you accomplish that and how by any means necessary. Because in this economy, well, I don't know where you are in the world. I am in the US of A. And right now, it ain't looking good for me. Like, it just, I'm trying not to pay attention to the things that are going on in the news. And I have to find another way. Trading is my another way. You know what I mean? It's my way out of no way. And I feel that God gave that to me. It was sent to me. Somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody who know me told them to teach me this, or or somebody put a download in my heart and in my spirit to where I would want to hold on to this, get it in my head, get it in my heart, and hold on to it. That I'm gonna get this, and it's gonna be my way out of nowhere. It's gonna be my way to financial freedom. Okay, so again, to wrap all that up, I want to say that hope that your year is blessed. I want to come on and motivate you before we get into what we're getting ready to get into, because most times when I get on YouTube, I see channels, and I see these videos that are so disheartening. I see a lot of failure, and failures happen, they do. But I think that you should start with the good instead of the bad first. Instead of the bad, then trying to make it out to be something good, like it was a sign. No, once you start with something good, the bad it'll outshadow the bad. It'll outweigh the bad. So I want to start off with something good here, and I want to say that, your year is going to be blessed. Yes, it's going to be blessed. It's going to be the greatest year of your life. In the words of Tasha Cobbs, God's about to blow your mind. God's about to blow your mind. I'm not a singer, but I'm just saying. And I want you to believe that, like seriously, because it can happen. It will happen. No matter what the ups and downs are, it's possible. I had this idea last week, and the idea came from my YouTube channel. It came from the comments that I got from the people that were watching, and I thank you guys for watching. And so that led me to create the Discord. And listen, get your butt in the Discord. Get your butt in the Discord, okay? And at first it was just little old me, but now it's like 3 people in there now. I'm so happy for those of you who joined. Like seriously, it's a free Discord. Like, it's a community, right? And I want to have discussions and topics and all the things that I was talking about earlier before I made it. And it's nerve-wracking, right? But yesterday I got like 2 people to join, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? And then somebody joined this morning because I sent out the links, and they were like, because they were all in Telegram, and I wanted to shift them over into Discord. I don't know if they're gonna show up, but I know one person did, and then he joined my YouTube as well. But it's just like, I want to have everybody in one space to where you have access to me. I want to get to know you guys as it relates to trading. I want to, as soon as I figure out how this thing works, I got to figure out how this Discord work, and the categories and the channels and the bots and stuff. As soon as I figure it out, the way I want to set it up, it's going to be fly. It's going to be tight. I want to be able to see what the issue is, see what the problem is. Maybe you just might need some extra motivation. Maybe it's for me to be like, hey, I just want to say hey to you today and, give you a word of encouragement or whatever. Maybe it'd be somebody else that's in the Discord already. And so I started the Discord. Get your butt in there. It's going to be in the description box below, and I'm going to pin it in every video that I make from now on. It's going to be in the pinned comment, like the top comment in the comment section. I was like, you know what? On top of me doing that, let's take it a step further. Not only am I going to be doing more prop firm challenges, I am. Futures and Forex, more Forex than futures, because I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll explain why later. I'm going to be doing a live account, actually. I may talk about that more, or I may just do it on the side privately. I'm going to do what we're going to do today, which is a chart markup. I want to do it every single Saturday. It's not going to be live because we don't do that. I can't do live. I tried it once. If you've seen the video, it's on my channel. You can go watch it. It was so laggy and shaky, and it was just like, I know I pay for this internet. So I don't know why you acting like this. I don't know, T-Mobile, I don't know why you acting like this. I don't. But it'll be pre-recorded. Every Saturday, you should have a video for me. Every Saturday. Into the foreseeable future, unless something happens to where I can't. Now, as far as what we're going to mark up today, it's just kind of random. Going forward, I don't know if I'm going to do one pair set a week, or if I'm going to do a random set of pairs. And it's weird now because last week I did a trade recap and it kind of messed up the idea that I wanted to do for today, because basically the trades that I called played out actually. Actually, they're still going to play out next week, but the rest of them. But there was nothing else for me to look at. And yesterday I was trying to do a draft run or a dry run of the video that I'm doing now. And I tried to do CHF pairs because I hate them. And I hate them for good reason. They don't correlate with anything. And the thing, no, I take that back. They do correlate with things. I'll teach you about correlation either in the Discord, right? I'll leave it in the resources section when I make it, or I'll make a video about it. Whichever one you like. Hell, I'll do both. Just let me know in the comment section below. And I realized that when I tell you that they correlate with some weird stuff, it's some crazy stuff that they correlate with. So I decided to forego that. I said, you know what? I'm going to take that out. And then I'm just going to any, mini, miny, mo. You know what I mean? So that's what we're about to do. We're going to do some chart analysis. Some pairs. It may be JPY pairs, actually. I honestly don't know. If you guys have an idea of the pairs that you want me to mark up for Saturday, let me know beforehand in the comment section below. If you're in a Discord, I'll, leave a link there or a poll or something so that you can, let me know, so that I can do that, because I think that's what people are looking for. Majority of the pairs that I'm going to mark up are going to be swings. They're going to be intraday swings, which means that they're going to start from the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and then you're going to enter on the 4 hour or the 1 hour. It's rare when I can find something that goes along with the strategy that I trade, which is ICT, that will bring me to the lower time frame, which is what, a 5 minute, a 15 minute, and a 1 minute. It's rare. So again, I'm just winging it. This is a dry run. Well, not a dry run. I'm winging it. I don't know which pair I'm going to look at first. I don't know if I'm going to do one of each set or if I'm going to do one whole set. Let me explain what I mean when I say one of each set or one whole set. This is my, well, whichever way. This is going to be backwards, but that's my correlated pair sheet. I also have it here. I have it like laminated and stuff so I don't forget frontwards and backwards. So without further ado, let me get rid of this and then we can go analyze some charts. Again, I don't know which ones I'm going to use yet, but we're just going to see. All right, here we go. Okay, so when I opened this up, I remembered that I'd already marked up like 3 of these, and the last one I just decided to delete all the markings on it so that I could do it with you guys so that you can see how the process goes if you don't know how to do it already. So let's start from left to right. This first pair is GBP JPY. I am bearish on the day. Or the month, I'm sorry. The month is getting ready to start in 2 days. It's crazy. The way that I start is I have to find a gap. Somewhere. It has to be on some time frame. More than likely it's going to be on a higher time frame key level. That's how it works. So I found my gap after some trial and error. I found my gap on the monthly. Then I skip a time frame because that's how time frame alignment works. And we are here. So we're on the daily. So now we can enter on the daily, which makes this a swing. I know some people might say, well, that's too quick. That's too soon. But I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it works. If I were to enter, I would enter as you see here. Because price closed below this order block right here, signifying our change in steady delivery to go bearish. And now we are officially bearish. Now if price takes out this high, but doesn't mitigate this gap, the trade is not invalid. The trade is not invalid until price takes out this monthly gap. If price don't take out this, listen, if y'all didn't learn anything from the last video where I showed you in like literally real time how this works, it's the same process. It's the same process. You need a bearish candle, a bullish candle before a bearish move, and then a bearish candle before a bullish candle before a bearish move, and a bearish candle before a bullish move for a continuation. So we're doing a reversal right now. And if I were going to short GJ, this is how I would do it. But that's one thing that you guys have to remember, is that if you're using this strategy and you're using gaps, as long as the gap is not mitigated on the higher time frame, you're straight. You're good. You're Gucci. If price just plays around and consolidates, let it. Because if you see prices taking out liquidity, and then the last candle before the drop is a bullish one, you in there. And once it closed below that, you are in there. This is one trade that I will be posting in the Discord, in my Outlook channel, or I'm gonna call it something different. I don't know. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, here we have USD CAD. Now this is a tricky one. This is one that, matter of fact, all of these trades except for US 30, if it doesn't present, except for we'll get to that one in a second, but if it doesn't present itself, I won't trade it. But all of these trades I'm gonna take, just for the sake of being an example. I'm gonna take these trades. I'm not saying that I won't lose, but I'm not saying that I'm gonna, I won't win either. You see what I'm saying? What's the saying? You have to take the chance or take the shot or something. I forgot what it is, but you miss 90% of the shots you don't take. That's what it is, or something like that. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to get on here and be this person that's trying to be a guru, which I'm not, and not do something I tell you to do something I wouldn't do. So, in the spirit of being fair, right, I'm going to take these trades and I'm going to document it in my Discord, and I'm going to document it on YouTube. So, just be on the lookout for this recap when the trades are done. So, we're on the monthly. I found a gap. We skip a time frame. We're on the daily. Now, normally with all my trades, I try to, put my SMT line, but my eyes have already come to figure out where it's at, and what I need to look for a continuation. Continuations, I love continuations. They're my favorite. I know them like the back of my hand. There's just nothing you can tell me. I can find it like that in my sleep. I promise you. Now, reversals is kind of tricky, but with this, I can see clearly, clear as day, that price came down, tapped into this gap. It did not mitigate this gap because on the higher time frame, it hasn't closed above. It may look like it, but on the higher time frame, it's nowhere near it. So this candle took out all of this liquidity over here, making this our change in state delivery. Price came up, closed, signifying that change in state delivery. It came up, came back down, consolidated, yada yada yada, higher high, low low, that type of stuff. And now we're back at entry. Now here's the tricky thing about this pair. This pair is just like CHF pairs. I don't know what it's going to correlate with, right? And I like to find something that's going to correlate with something. It looks like an easy setup, but because for me, I like correlation and I don't see one that I can understand, I don't know. So with this one, I'm taking a chance. But again, in the spirit of being fair, I'm going to take the chance. Just be on the lookout for that video. So we would enter, you're at entry now. So when price, I keep saying price, when the market opens on Sunday, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to see how it moves. If it goes up, then what I will do is actually wait until, I learned about breaker blocks last week from the person who taught me the strategy, who I learned the strategy from. And I will use this. And if price goes up here and closes above this, it'll come back and tag me. And then that will be my entry from there. I always shoot for a 1 to 2. But my rule of thumb is if I'm not doing a prop firm accounts, which for the first time in a long time, I'm doing both. I'm doing a live account and a prop firm account. Why waste the move? I know the market moves for two things. Imbalance and liquidity. So if I'm doing a prop firm account, which I am, and I'm doing a live account, what I'm going to do is figure out the most profitable trade, the A plus setup, and I'll use that on my prop account, right? And then I'll do the other ones on my live account in small lots. So that's how that's going to go. So this is going to be on my live account with small lots. I'm doing a little flip account challenge thing. It's a personal thing. I might put it on YouTube. I might not. I don't know. All right, moving on. I'm pretty sure that you're looking at it like, oh my God, what is this? So if you don't know, these pairs correlate together. And you can clearly see that because they're going in the same direction. So this is an experiment that I'm also going to take because I'm trying to figure out if I can take, this one's going to go first, that one's going to go second, and that one's going to go last. If this comes down and takes this liquidity and lands inside this gap, which it's going to do, if it doesn't mitigate this gap and turns around, and I catch this continuation, which just in theory, that's what I'm trying to do. But this kind of might retrace a little bit before it comes down a little bit. But I would enter, to be honest, on the 1 hour. Yes. We would enter on the, since we found the gap on the daily, once it taps into this gap, which it really already has, we would wait for price to dig into this gap a little bit more. Stop, make that what you call a doji, I guess y'all call it. I don't know what the names for candlesticks are for retail traders. I don't know what that is. And then it comes up and takes out, let's say this right here. This will be our change in state delivery, hypothetically speaking. And then we would go for a 1 to 2. Once I put this little order block thing here. And then we would go for a 1 to 2. And I'm going to say that went there. Right, that's your 1 to 2. Now in pips, I also use one of these pip things. These data, what do you call it? What is this? Price range. So I take the price range tool and I'll mark that up. Jesus. 319. 331. That's 331 pips for 1 to 2. Now, when we talk about catching the whole move, we go back to the daily. Now this might be kind of tricky. If price turns around, then I'm aiming for, I guess, the top of this wick right here. Or we could aim for this too, because that's a fractal. Hell, I don't want to be too. What I don't want to do is think too much into it, overanalyze it, and because that's external range liquidity right here. We're in internal right here. This is external. So when price goes bullish, it's going to shoot for this line right here on the daily, as a daily trade. So you could hold this as a swing. You know what? It sounds tempting actually, and get about 2,000 pips if you that brave. But if you're not, depending on your pip size and your lot size, this could be a prop firm challenge right here. This is going to be the last one I'm going to do for right now. And I like to do this because I don't like to look for things at the last minute. I feel like when you take the time to mark your charts up when the market has stopped and not when it's going, then I feel like everything will work out better. So we're on the monthly. I don't see anything on the monthly, so we're going to go down to the daily. The weekly. Now on the weekly, I see a gap. And I have this split because as per our correlation sheet, Euro GBP and GBP AUD, Euro AUD and GBP AUD, they correlate. As you can clearly see, they're going in the same direction. We're just going to do the same thing we do. Find our gap, which is here. Signify where we found it at, or identify where we found it at, which is on the weekly. And then there's a gap right here, but that's small though. That's really small. Is that the same one? Yep, that's the gap. That's why I love this side-by-side thing. If you come down here and then you have these settings to where the symbol does the same thing. I switched on and off some things, so I tested it out, but I like the way that when you do the crosshairs, whatever candle you're on this pair, it does the same thing on that pair, so you know where your gap is, or if there's a gap at all. So if there's only a gap on this one, I'm only trading this one. If there's no gap on this one, or if there's a gap on this one and not on this one, then I'm trading this one. I'm prioritizing this one because we look for in terms of a continuation or a reversal, depending on where the gap is. I want to say that I'm going to prioritize Euro AUD over GBP AUD. The reason being is because, as you can clearly see, as we can see, price came into the gap, it tapped the gap, and it had a retracement, right? And it's currently getting ready to turn flip bullish. But this GBP AUD, however, failed to even touch this gap. It's going to look like it touched it on the higher time frame, but on the lower time frame, but it didn't even touch it on the higher time frame, and that's what counts. So I'll take this and this. Now, I'm not even going to transit. See how that made a higher low and then that made a lower high? Technically, that's how, if this had came down and touched this and came into this gap, that would have been perfect, but it didn't, so I'm not going to chance it. So we're going to go down to the 4 hour. And we're going to form our trade. One second. Okay, so I can't remember what I was talking about before, but for an entry, came up, came down. So price took this liquidity out, and this is what I see. I sound like Casey Jackson. I want to buy her course just because, but I don't know. It would be like a waste of money. There's like 3 courses I want to buy. I want to buy her course, and I want to buy Terry Igioma, her options course. It's it's quite a bit of money though. It's a couple thousand. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my order block. Okay, so that's our change in state delivery right here. Actually, it's the same thing on this side. Yeah, I see why I would trade this one over that one. So if I'm looking at this, I can see that price came up on EA. Price came up, closed above, signifying our change in state delivery, confirming our bullishness. Then it came down. Now we have up until, right now, since you're on the higher time frame, you have to understand that you go, depending on your lot size, you gotta risk it. You might have to risk it for the biscuit, okay? You might have to. But this is where your huge stop losses come in at, especially if you can't find a gap to get on the lower time frame, which would be the 15-minute and or the 1 minute. So this is a 125.6 pip move. What I'm looking for in terms of entry, right? So if I were going to enter this here, because the move has clearly, and that's a 1 to 2 almost. Well, that's more than a 1 to 2, right? But how would I enter this trade? Knowing what I know now, knowing what I know now, if price does not come back and tag you in, what I would do is this, knowing what I know now, knowing what I just learned. I would use this as the breaker. And then instead of it being like that, that would be at the top of that would be your change in state delivery. You could use that, the breaker as that, and then you would shoot that for a 1 to 2. Now I am new at breakers, so this one I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be. Only because it lines up though. Let's go back to the, what time frame are we on? Let's say the weekly. What's our weekly draw? Because we could be selling ourselves short. So remember, price goes for two things: imbalance and liquidity. We're already in imbalance. We're looking for liquidity. Liquidity is this external range right here. We go from internal to external and then back down to internal. So it'll come back down here and mitigate this gap and so on and so forth. So this is our external draw. The way I see it. Depending on how this pair moves, whether it's fast or slow. If it's fast, it'll get there quick, fast, and in a hurry, right? It won't take you that long. But it won't take you a week. Or it won't even take you, it won't take you a whole day if it moves that fast. But if it does take that long, depending on if there's news or anything else, it's going to consolidate and then it's going to take you a while to get there. So again, that's why I say that these trades are more so swings and intraday trades. So intraday and swing trades, because you're on a higher time frame, and the bigger the time frame, the more time you're going to have to wait. It's not a snipe. This is not a snipe or just it might be a day trade, but it's going to take you some time. This is where your patience and discipline comes in at. This is where you got to wait. You got to wait, right? And so if we're using that, we're going back down on the 4 hour. That increases our pip size from 125 to 270.6. And then if we come down over to GA. So the move here made our low. See, this is why I say what I say, because I'm not even trading that. I can't even trade that. It's not even valid yet. It's not valid. So because it's not valid, I'm not even looking at it. So this is not a trade that I'm going to take. GA is not a trade that I'm going to take unless price comes all the way back down here, taps into this gap seriously, and then gives me my my entry that I'm looking for. But as of right now, I'm prioritizing EA over GA. All right, so those are my pairs for the week. I am only going to trade these pairs now because tomorrow's Sunday, and I do not want to show up to the market unprepared. So I don't want to have a set of pairs, and then I say, well, no, I don't want to trade these anymore, and so I don't have time to figure something else out. I'm going to have those in a Discord. When or if they hit, I'm going to do a trade recap on them. If you're not in a Discord, get in a Discord. There's ain't but 3 of us in there. Get in a Discord. Okay, it's going to be in the description box below. You guys are blessed. Take care. And just be on the lookout for the trade recap. And be on the lookout for the trade markups every week. Every week. Every week. You ever seen Brown Sugar where the dude was like, every week? Every week. Trade markup every Saturday. So we can get this together. I want us to be profitable. I want us to, catch the pips, get the bag, all that other type of good stuff. So you guys are blessed. Take care. And I'll see you in the Discord. Because you're going to join, right? Yeah, you're going to join. Toodles.